stage is senior presentation. She's going to wow you, looks like with the demonstration. She's professional. And, you know, if you're not aware, you know, Sage came to Valley View School last year. So this is her second year here, and in a year plus, she's grown a lot, and she has learned a lot about the project process, and she's had a successful senior project. She's here to tell you about her project and hopefully some things that you'll find interesting.
Familiar with who I am? And I'm a senior. And this is my senior presentation. Okay. Coffee. A beverage made up by percolation, infusion, or decoction from the roasted grounds and seeds of a coffee plant. The sweet aroma of coffee beans leads to a strong acidic taste as well as hidden flavors. Caffeine. A neurotoxin alkaloid found especially in coffee, tea, and cola nuts. Used medicinally as a million individuals did as well. The upbringing of coffee began allegedly in the middle of the 15th century. Ethiopia would arguably be ancient grounds where coffee forests were first discovered and harvested. An old Ethiopian legend states Herder Kaldi would be the first to discover coffee. Only it wasn't him exactly. It was his companions, his goats. Not only did the goats spring to life with energy after eating the coffee berries, but the goats also refused to sleep through the night. Nearly 3% of the world's coffee is accounted from Ethiopia. The U.S. Department of Agriculture states in 2021, the United States has invested nearly $5.7 billion through coffee imports. $120 million of that coming from Ethiopia alone. I could go on and on about the discovery facts and history of coffee, but that's not what I'm here to discuss and share today. I just wanted to give brief insight into what coffee has become and what it is still becoming. I'd like to start from the beginning. My genesis and passion for coffee stems from an abnormal time in my life. Nearing the end of elementary school, I'd work and progress in academics just as anyone else would, trying my best to focus and hold on to the optimistic mindset that everyone knew and continues to know me for, or at least I hope. I still found myself defeated by the outcast perspective I would uphold onto myself through elementary school, all the way up to even now. I struggled. This was until my dad took it upon himself to help me. He'd call me out of school on certain days I'd deal with severe panic attacks, leading to me being present with him in coffee shops for hours at a time during those days. We would work together on what needed to get done, and that was pretty much all to it. One distinct memory I had in mind is when my father and I set up shop at Akoka, a small business coffee shop located on College Ave downtown here. Nate, part of the management team and barista at the time, had asked me what I wanted to drink. And all I could think of was the classic caramel macchiato. You guys know what a caramel macchiato is from Starbucks, you know? No, some maybe not. Well, that's pretty much what I was only familiar with at the time. I was young. But Nate had explained to me that Akoka macchiatos were made traditionally, unlike Starbucks macchiatos. I was clearly confused, so he proceeded to demonstrate the difference in person for me. Altogether, this moment is what sparked a huge chain reaction. I ended up ordering just a caramel steamer though, which is literally just steamed milk and caramel syrup added because I was scared to adventure in such young coffee drinking age, at such a young coffee drinking age. Okay. My father is a best friend of mine. I wanted to include and thank him for being a rock in my crucial years of development. He cares for me and my growing mind. I'll never forget how grateful I am for having those days wondering more and more about coffee. as I got to soak up the energy in person working in multiple coffee shop settings with him right next to me, such as Copper Rock, Akoka, Seth's. Fascinated by it. So in order to filter a French press, you have to push the top thing down, the top bar down, the filter. And it was my job every morning to do such a thing. When he'd be making his coffee, it was like the one thing I had to do. He couldn't do it. It was my thing. As I continued my education through middle school and high school, I would still have my down days. I'd find myself needing time away to get school done at my own pace by myself without distraction. Akoka and Copper Rock quickly became sanctuaries for me. I built friendships with these employees as I was starting to learn how to order beverages more appropriately. I went from caramel steamers and mochas to 16-ounce iced almond milk turtle lattes with an extra shot, or my current favorite, a 16-ounce iced almond milk lavender dirty chai with 2 shots of espresso, and hazelnut cinnamon foam to top it off. I know that's a mouthful. On June 29th of 2021, my official coffee journey began through a more official lens. Peyton, my current manager and friend, had come up to me one day in May while I was with my father, just at Akoka, as any other day. I remember the exact words, and she stated, "Sage, would you like a job here? I'm looking for bright ones such as yourself. You're pretty awesome." The same day, I completed my application, and on June 30th would be the day I officially started as a baby barista. It'll be a year since that special encounter and job opportunity changed me for the better. I wanted to be a part of this intriguing career, and I wanted to learn. Okay.
Is there coffee in there?
Is there what?
Is there coffee in that cup?
This is water because I need to stay hydrated, otherwise I will pass out. Okay. Moving on, I'd like to demonstrate the first way I learned how to make coffee through my father and my job, the pour over. Okay, so I do not have Sumatra with me today as I wished because someone actually ordered 4 pounds of Sumatra and they had to empty my bag of Sumatra that I had put aside. But I do have Nicaraguan. And my fellow employee and friend Simon told me that Nicaraguan is his favorite and that he's very biased of it because it has a chocolate aroma to it and it's more complex the different ways you can brew it with coffee. But as today I'm stating I'm doing a pour over demonstration. I have to step aside and get my water real quick, so I will be right back. Okay, usually for the pour over process, you're going to want to grind your beans into a medium fine grind for a coarser type of deal when making a pour over. It's important so the amount that you're extracting amounts to the 12-ounce cup that I'm using today. With the body as full as any premium coffee, despite a subdued acidity to the coffee, a lot of different flavors occur because of the carbon dioxide that is in coffee, along with how it was grown or the way it was harvested. So, another thing to know is most of our coffee beans served at Akoka are certified trade and organic. This means that the farm is growing and labor practices meet the requirements for the certification of the coffee. So, I have just a basic coffee filter here, and this is a pour-over brewer. There's no really special name to it, but it's just a common household item that you can get porcelain, made in porcelain or just plastic, and yeah, I have one. They're pretty fancy. This one's from work. Anywho, the temperature for decoction to occur stays between 195 to 200 degrees, and that is the temperature that my water is right here. I have a thermometer that I always use on deck when boiling or when using milk or any type of liquid. Anyway, I'm gonna measure out here 18 grams to the amount of 12 ounces of water I have, just so the ratio stays proportionate and so that the coffee is not over watered, because nobody likes watered down coffee. It's not really fun to drink. It's kind of nasty. Anyway, I just need one more of these. Sweet. I lied. One more. For sure. There. Okay. So, this fancy thing and this fancy thing, make sure that the grounds do not go into the cup as far as we're going to And what I'm doing here is I'm just adding a teeny bit of water to make the cup of coffee here bloom. So 2 weeks after coffee is roasted and we home roast, we roast in home at our coffee business. And after 2 weeks, there is still carbon dioxide found inside the coffee beans from the process of roasting. And I wish I could show you here, but the coffee is like blooming like a flower. Usually a clockwise motion after you let your coffee bloom for a good 15 to 20 seconds is just to make sure that all of the grounds get saturated and that the coffee can process. The final step is making sure that the mug is completed by a full cup of fresh brewed coffee. And as I stated before, this is my very first way that I learned how to make coffee. I found out that the most difficult part is always being cautious of my surroundings, as in not pouring hot water onto myself, because I recently did just get burned, and it was with 205 degree water again. Oh, and look at that, my coffee is overfilling. That is so cool and fun. Okay. Well, I have here the rest of my brewed coffee, and I'm gonna serve it to Mr. Frokie today. And I'm gonna walk it over to Mr. Frokie and hope that I don't spill it. This is for you, Mr. Frokie. Of course, for you. I hope you like it. I hope it tastes good. Okay. That was a little rocky because I never got to practice that part in my speech, but you guys are bearing with me, so I appreciate it. I hope that was a fun little demonstration, and let's move forward. Hello. Yay.
It's great, Sage.
You like it? I'm glad. Awesome. I'm sorry I don't have creamer for you. Okay. Let me collect myself again here. Okay. Creating a balance of fun exploration and factual importance to my subtopics didn't come as a challenge to me. I knew from the start drink making skills, along with originating the atmosphere, the originating the atmospheric value would come to be subtopics. The challenge would be distinguishing the difference of perseverance through business expansion and future plans from managing business and positive exposure. Wait a minute. And there is always more to being a barista. I see myself learning this craft more in depth every day. This sentence was included in my rationale written in October. Looking back and reflecting where my mind was beginning with this project helped me through my final process while completing my presentation. I had expectations through my rationale of figuring it out for myself on how to completely construct a coffee shop from A to Z. This never fully happened, of course, and I switched gears and wanted to remain in charge of what I truly wanted to accomplish throughout my senior year. There was more meaning to be sought out in this project process than expected. Okay. My subtopics. Creating a balance of fun exploration and factual importance to my subtopics didn't challenge me. I knew from the start drink making skills along with originating the atmospheric value would come to be subtopics. The challenge would be distinguishing the difference of perseverance through business expansion and future plans from managing business and positive exposure. Perseverance through business expansion and future plans to me meant finding out the crucial parts of how to keep a small business coffee shop running smoothly, how to keep the coffee shop relevant in the eyes of our customers and those that we wanted to attract, and caring for just, of course, always having and maintaining a good workspace as well as like a good home for people to come and do any type of work or type of conversation we're having, you know. Managing business and positive exposure leads to broadcasting information over social media attraction and along with being just a part of the downtown community. Having a purpose is basically to us creating a positive work environment, as I stated before. It's very important to my manager as well as all the employees at Akoka to have a positive outlook. And then originating the atmosphere while owning a small business is important to take liberty in with creative freedom, what you want to convey through your setting and who you want to attract. Again. With attending Valley New School for my second year now, I finally had the chance to step out of my comfort zone through actual live source interviews. I had a great deal of support coming from work already through this project as my coworkers were all eager to cheer me on through the process. Bill Wetzel, owner of Akoka, had set up a time and space all himself for us to brainstorm and connect through meetings. I'd ended up talking to Bill for a total of 3 times during this project. Research and live source questions stemmed from our communication. Only together we wouldn't have enough time to talk due to his busy schedule. This led to his 2 right hands, Peyton Dodd and Nate Miltsky, my friends and coworkers and part of the management team at Akoka, offering to be interviewed to help me understand more of the business aspects. Both have over 20 years of knowledge through the coffee industry. I recorded these interviews and got to work researching more in depth after the conversations would inspire me. I don't like typing. I struggle to form cohesive sentences when I'm typing out what I feel and discover through a project. I wanted to be one with my research, and this meant hands-on organization. I decided to use 2 main notebooks and a note card holder, and as well as a trapper keeper. And my beast to conquer during this project went on to be keeping myself and my research evidence organized. I feel as if I improved with the skills of annotation, finding credible sources, and enjoying parts of the bigger picture through research. If it wasn't for the coffee, I feel as if I'd have no identifying personality, and that's how I feel sometimes being a barista. I owe it to coffee this year, and the importance of translation through what coffee means to others is important to me. I encounter hundreds of people a day while working on the clock. You never know what impact you truly have on someone else when you're involved daily. I had conversations with those who've also decided to make Akopa their sanctuary. Dave talks to me about his granddaughter, who's also going to be named Sage. Ty talks to me about the violin performances that he's a part of. And Marty always examines his mochas to make sure that I've added extra whip for him. The value of my job holds has saved me from very lonely times, and I know these individuals look forward to seeing me as much as I look forward to making the short interaction and their long day special for them. Okay, talking through ideas with my advisor led to the main event, captivated through my senior project. Just as I was explaining before on making customers feel special, I wanted to introduce the same energy and expression to Valley New School as a whole. I made it my mission to host a Valley New School coffee event to showcase my work through a huge product. I made many drafts of drink menus, taste testing at work on the regular, and figuring out the value of what I'd like to be introducing and representing through this project. I couldn't have asked for a better turnout, so thank you guys for all supporting me there and joining me downtown at Akopa. I definitely had a smile on my face the whole time, and you guys were very respectful, and my employees very much appreciated how smoothly it went. So thank you guys. Yeah, and I read all your reviews too. It was pretty cool to see all of those. Owen, yours wasn't really nice, so.
Well, I mean, I'm
Anywho. 2022 alone has brought so much change to the coffee shop scene here in Appleton. November 4th of 2021, Akopa had turned 24 years old. Along with being Appleton's longest small business running coffee roasting cafe company, we meet on the last Tuesday of each month to discuss lots such as safety measures, upcoming events, and the basis of our growing revenue. We've broken our own personal records from this last winter times 3. Roughly, we make around $3,500 a whole day, while this Mother's Day, our most busiest day of the year, we rang in at $4,000 by 12 this afternoon. This shows me how important it is to have the right staff included during these huge seasonal events, such as myself. I'm a part of that team, and we are always trying to thrive and support each other and persevere through our community on how we can make an impact. Our plan that we had, we would just have free time during our down hours, and we would make fun little posts such as motivational Monday drink or Monday motivation drink, and for Valentine's Day as well, I got to help make some kitchen items, and one of them was the red hot Belgian waffle, and it was just a fun little strawberry waffle, you know. So, moving on as well to business exposure and just positive involvement. Akoka and just what we stand for is just being known in the Fox cities and being known downtown to, be inclusive. It's very important to us to be inclusive, and this is a good way to make others in our community feel safe. Whether that's through recognizing Mental Illness Awareness Month in May, or being a part of the Pride Month and hosting an event like that, where we have drag queens that come and dress up, and they also as well, we gave out like free espresso bites, so that was fun. And then this year I will probably be participating in the downtown farmers market for Akoka, and I've never done that before. I'm looking forward to maybe experiencing that. Another way we are involved with the community is that we host musical nights, and so artists such as the Voodoos, which are college students, come in and they get to perform from around 4 to 7, and I just get to sit back and enjoy the music while also seeing how talented people are in the community that me and our coworkers and Bill, my manager, likes to support. It's always interesting seeing how that turns out and being a part of that, as well as also the artwork that we showcase each new month at Akoka, and all of the artists are local in our community, and it's very cool to see the different artwork that people can buy and just that type of aspect. So, when you guys think of the color red, what pops in your head? Anything like a feeling or like a holiday? Anything?
Roses.
Roses? Say that again? Anger?
Scarlet tanters.
Okay.
Christmas.
Christmas?
Did you give up an apple?
An apple? Yeah.
Oh,
I said it looks like the German flag.
Anywho, so it is very important to know what you want to convey through your coffee shop, whether that be more of a contemporary look or like a retro look, or even just like an urban look, or just like a random type of vibe to your coffee shop. It's not the construction all the way through that makes your coffee shop shine. It's what the stories or what's connected to your coffee shop. Like, for example, there's a fire truck hat underneath our condiment table at Akoka that has significant value, or the different barrels that are used as tables at Akoka, as well as the color scheme that is involved at Akoka, which we thought would be a good balance of red and green. Those colors just mesh well together, I'd say. It is one of those things that never gets old for me, opening up at Akoka at 7 a.m. and having no one else in that building other than me and another employee. It's kind of a calm before the storm moment, and it's something that I look forward to doing after school more while opening at the coffee shop. And those fun little funky chairs right there, those are pretty fun, they're rainbow. Moving on, I got to be involved in making some seasonal drinks this year as well. Those seasonal drinks were the strawberry white chocolate latte on the left, and the banana chocolate mocha in the middle, and the apple cinnamon caramel latte on the right. These drinks came about with just like the general thought of, again, for Valentine's Day, it was a theme of strawberries, a theme of red, and then for spring, we had the banana chocolate mocha, and then for, I believe, fall, we had the apple cinnamon caramel latte. And that was pretty yummy. Oh, here's a fun a video of me making my favorite drink. I really hope you guys don't take this too seriously. Just wait, I put more in. Definitely, yeah, thanks. Wow. So, not enough coffee or anything. Oh, this is so bad. Come on, I want to exit this. Can I exit this? Oh no.
Press escape.
Press exit.
Escape on the keyboard.
Keyboard.
ESC.
Top left corner.
There's no keyboard.
Myself.
It's gonna happen again.
Because the
Oh
microphone
my
walks
God.
by the speakers with the microphone on, you got the back.
Try right
Go
clicking and exit.
mouse to the top of the screen.
And then exit.
There's no exit. There you go. Move the mouse to the bottom left hand corner. There you go.
You're doing great.
Three more of us.
I don't even want to click on that.
You'll have to save
We believe in you.
You can do it.
Okay, moving forward. There was a lot of downtime to experiment through this project process as well, and my favorite person to experiment with during this time while working night shifts was my friend and coworker Angel. Angel is a unique individual who is bilingual. He graduated out of college early, and he is a coffee enthusiast such as myself. And we always brought it upon ourselves to research and look into different ways to make coffee from different regions and cultures. Okay, so I'm gonna explain. We wanted to make egg coffee from Sweden, and this is exactly what we did. I don't want to play the volume on that.
You put the
I definitely said something kind of vulgar when I saw him doing that too. Anyway. It was so jiggly, and we had to use 3 times the amount of water to brew one 12-ounce cup of this concoction. It did not taste well either. I let him drink most of it. Oh no.
What would you
Oh my goodness. I'm almost done, guys, I promise. Okay. So, throughout, oh my god. Well, wrapping up this senior presentation, I really hope you guys enjoyed this beautiful presentation of my passion and products and just adventure. I know this probably didn't go as much as smoothly as I probably wish it would have gone, but coffee doesn't always go the coffee making process doesn't always go smoothly as well, and I live by that. Anywho, I would like to thank my live sources because all 3 of them are pretty amazing people, and they helped me a lot to even just be able to get up here and stand and talk in front of you guys. They really did encourage me a lot. Anywho, thank you. Questions? Oh my goodness.
your thoughts on tea?
On tea,
Yeah.
I love tea. I drink a lot of herbal tea, which is like, I don't know, like green sencha, Earl Grey. I drink like also just like flavored tea, like strawberry, raspberry, mango, and yeah, I
Do you like decaf?
as watered down espresso because there's still caffeine in it and you're still gonna get buzzed, just not as much, you know. I don't know.
If you could do this project again, would you do anything different?
Oh, I do a whole bunch different. I'd probably prep a little bit more. It was a weird process with, like I said, even just me being able to get up here and talk. I could have planned a lot more, like, to practice. I did practice, but then a lot of things just went wrong the day before or the day of my presentation. So I rolled with what I could do. You know, I rolled with the punches. Anyway, Sim.
What's the worst coffee you've ever had?
The worst coffee I've ever had. Oh my gosh. Oh, I gotcha. Tonic water and espresso.
Oh.
Not. It gave me a stomach ache. I tried it, and also lemonade and espresso. That is called a Laura Palmer, not an Arnold Palmer, not an Arnold, like Arnold Palmer. Yeah, not good.
Was Akoka your first job?
Akoka is not my first job, so I actually worked at Extreme Air for about a year and a half. That was like babysitting children, so I didn't really want to work there anymore. And then I worked at Dairy Queen for about 4 years because my aunt was a manager and it was like a family business, but I wanted to learn a different trade. Yeah.
What was your favorite experience in this project?
My favorite experience, oh my goodness. I'd say, of course, the event night. It was very much fun to present that and have the opportunity of like hosting that. I'm very glad that you all could come down and join. Another experience I'd say was just, I really did learn a lot about more so the business aspect of coffee. Like Mr. Froki and me had a conversation about how we wanted to figure out where my heart was with the project, and like I said before, I really wanted to learn how to make a coffee shop from A to Z because my stepmom has done that in our church. Actually, she conveyed and made and constructed a whole coffee shop, and that just didn't turn out in my favor. So I'd say just like the smaller things of like finding out like the value of coffee and finding out where like our beans come from, just like little teeny things, like brushing up on like my drink making skills and just getting to also log hours through work hours too. Like it was just fun because it was like a whole process of the whole year. Mr. Froki?
If I were to open up a coffee shop, what advice would you give me before I got started?
Advice. I'd say it is very important to know why you want to yourself bring your product of coffee into this huge already like world of coffee. What makes your business stand out from another business? As in like, again, like who do you want to attract? What type of drinks and what type of, if you want to serve food, like what, all just like the different factors of what makes your shop your shop. That's very important and something that I got to like learn through visiting a lot of different coffee shops this year. I also didn't mention this, but I also did get to talk to 2 Starbucks employees. And Starbucks is a very, very big chain company of coffee shops that originates from Seattle. And it is very, very different to see how set in stone everything has to be with just like rules, health code, and just, you know, appropriate things compared to the liberty and freedom that you have of just being able to construct and change things as you go through your own coffee shop too. So, yeah. Hold there.
What's your advice for future seniors?
Oh, don't procrastinate. Just get something done. Like, I can't stress this enough. I like, don't stress yourself out either if you don't have a plan right away. Like, and if you're still developing a plan even halfway through your project. I didn't have set in stone times of the day where I wanted to work on my project, and that kind of developed into more of me figuring out how to log and like be productive through my project through even just, like I said, working. That was very inclusive to my project. So don't procrastinate and organize yourself correctly to how you want to organize yourself. Lulu?
Is there like a specific drink that you get asked to make all the time and like you like dread it because it was a horrible drink to make?
Anything blended. I don't like making blended drinks. This is because it takes up a lot of time, and blended drinks are very just like, I don't know, they're too sugary for me too. Like espresso shakes and then the cool coffee whips or the frappuccinos. Like, you can get something else, please. Sim.
Okay, what's a like coffee shop aesthetic that you like and one that you hate?
Okay, so Lawless just opened up downtown.
Yes.
I haven't been yet, but my father went and he said that his latte was lukewarm and that the music was too loud for him and that the customers were obnoxiously rude. So
I've seen photos of that place. The lighting is like stark white and the chairs are uncomfortable, like they want people in there.
yeah, and I remember specifically going to a coffee shop in Arizona called the Red Bicycle. This coffee shop had like hundreds of just like different bikes like hung up all over the place, like had really more so like just an urban comfortable feel with like the seating that they had with just like comfortable chairs and couches, and they also had like the local artwork display that was just like beautiful to see. It's like really originating your space that you have to create something like amazing. Like I really should have taken the time to make even like a product of just like a 3D model of like how a coffee shop would look for me. Like that would have been so much fun. Trin?
What were some experiments what were some of your favorite and least favorite experiments?
Least favorite and favorite experiments. So I included me and Angel making that egg coffee because like that was definitely one of like the most memorable ones. Like it was disgusting. It tasted gross. Like I really couldn't believe that like he threw the eggshells in there too. But that's how the brewing process gets enhanced because like the eggshell gives it flavor as well because of the decoction. I'd say one of my favorite experiments would be how we made the butterfly PT out of coca. Actually, that's on the menu right now. So we wanted to represent spring, and with that, like we think of like Easter colors or just like I don't know, like bright yellows or pinks or blues. And that is blue is the color of the PT butterfly PT, and that comes from a natural color of this powder substance that we have that is included in the tea. So that was very fun to make. It's very fun to make. I like it. Jack?
Why would you put an egg in a drink?
Because that's what they